Hello, you're welcome to Draw Research Blog, your one-stop blog for in-depth analysis on political issues in Nigeria, in Africa, and across the globe. Today we'll be discussing Nigeria. Now, it is no longer news that the country is going through economic turmoil and the hardship is almost becoming unbearable. But the question we need to ask ourselves is, how did we get here? Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. In the build-up to the 2023 general elections, the incumbent president said time and again that he was going to build on the legacy of Buhari. And it appears Nigerians forget so easily because when Buhari came into the saddle in 2015, and from 2016 Nigerians started complaining of hardship, and we kept hearing what the current administration is saying: give us time, that good things take time, and Nigerians were patient. And when it appears the hardship now is becoming unbearable, and the naira, the economy, it's very shaky, and the naira against the dollar, it's on the free fall. People are now very hungry. The poverty level is now more and more multidimensional. The prices of commodities have skyrocketed, and Nigerians are on the brink of having food security problems because of the insecurity within the Middle Belt in most areas where Nigeria do a lot of farming. Now, the question is not about the hardship here. Let's ask ourselves some very important questions. Now, this question is coming on the heels of what happened. How did the hardship become even worse? Now, when the administration came in the current administration came in on May 29, 2023, the president announced a total removal of subsidy. Now, considering the fact that most activities that happen in Nigeria is tied around oil, that brought lots of hardship, and a lot of Nigerians shared the optimism that the monies that have been used to pay for subsidy will now be channeled into other parts of development. And some Nigerians said, well, it was a good idea considering that the fact that there have been talks about people stealing the amount, trillions of naira that have been budgeted for the subsidy. But few weeks or few months after the announcement of subsidy, the government announced a free flow of the naira, saying that the forces of demand and supply and all of that will strengthen the economy. But it appears that has not been the case, because right now the dollar is on the free fall compared to the naira is on the free fall compared to the naira, and that has brought untold hardship to a lot of Nigerians, considering that Nigerian economy is import oriented. Most of the things used as raw materials, even finished goods, are imported, and all of these things are imported using the foreign exchange. Well, I hope the government will do enough to get that settled. But another issue that I want to talk about today is a statement credited to the Sultan of Sokoto about the North being unable to bear the hardship, and he cannot stop the protests or whatever will come up as a result of that. Of course, there have been spates of protests in Niger and a few parts of Nigeria, but it appears the North is gearing for a mass protest, considering the level of hardship that Nigerians are currently facing. But when the hardship did not start today, okay? And one will ask, comparing Buhari's administration and Jonathan's administration, wouldn't it be hypocritical for the Sultan to say that the North can no longer bear the hardship? We all, as Nigerians, bore the hardship of Buhari's administration and nothing came out of it. And when you talk about protests in Nigeria, depending on who is in the saddle, because I remember clearly in 2011, when Nigerians trooped out the march to protest against the subsidy removal or the price increment of petrol by the Jonathan administration, we found that a lot of people in the South were skeptical about joining the protest, considering the fact that our son was in power. And during the time of Buhari, any criticism against Buhari was seen as anti-North. Any criticism against the policies and government of Buhari was seen as of trying to topple the government. The NSAS was an example, and then you find the North with more of a lackadaisical attitude towards this protest and criticism. Now we have someone from the South in power, and now we have protests coming from the North. Although we have few protests, but if there's going to be a general protest, trust me, those in the South, especially the Southwest, would not really want to take part in this protest. Now, this brings us to one thing, that aside corruption and bad governance, bad leadership, one thing that will kill Nigeria is ethnicity and religion. In the 80s, they used to say, if we don't kill corruption, corruption will kill Nigeria. But now, I can boldly say that if we do not kill ethnicity and religion from our hearts, it will kill Nigeria. Because whether you like it or not, elections, public policy, or whatever you want to think of as far as the Nigerian state is concerned, except football, elements of religion and ethnicity plays the prominent role in how it dictates the pattern in which Nigerians feel. It dictates the pattern in which Nigerians view public policy. Well, we hope the government is doing its best to alleviate the suffering, because truth be told, the suffering, like you have on the normal parlance, is now pro-max. People are really, really suffering. Because in the midst of all of this, income is static and the prices of commodities is on the increase geometrically. What would the government do? What would you suggest that the government should do? Do you think the government policy on the free flow of the naira is the right direction, or you think the government should reinstate the subsidy, or you think the government should not take the economic policy as dictated by IMF and the World Bank, because it appears that is one of the problems affecting Nigerians at the moment? Do you think the government should take these policies or the government should just neglect the advice by IMF and the World Bank? Or do you think the government should reinstate the policy, the subsidy regime, and fashion way, strong measures to cushion or to manage the corruption in the oil sector? Well, let's hear your views, and please don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on TikTok. Next will be an analysis of the upcoming election in Edo State, the upcoming governorship election in Edo State. Stay with us.